You said you didn't know. You said no one told you. You said you never saw it that way before. And maybe once that was true. Maybe there was a time when you really didn't understand, when you moved through it without recognizing it, when you heard things but didn't process them. Maybe, but not anymore. Now you've heard it. Now you've seen it. Now you felt it in a way that didn't let you look away. Now it sits with you, and that changes things. Because I didn't know has an expiration date, and yours has passed. This is the part people try to avoid, the shift from ignorance to awareness. Because ignorance gave you distance, it gave you an out. It let you exist without responsibility. But awareness closes that gap. It removes the distance you were comfortable hiding behind. And suddenly it's not out there anymore. It's here. It's close. It's something you can't mentally file away and come back to later. You tried that already. You felt it and pushed it aside. You heard it and changed the subject. You saw it and told yourself it wasn't your place. But it stayed with you, didn't it? That quiet discomfort, that moment where something didn't sit right, that wasn't confusion, that was recognition. And recognition doesn't go away just because you ignore it. It waits. It lingers. It shows up again when you least want to deal with it. Because truth doesn't disappear. It just gets postponed. And postponing it doesn't make you unaware. It makes you avoidant. And avoidance is a choice. That's the part that's harder to accept. Because now we're not talking about what you didn't know. We're talking about what you chose not to engage, what you chose not to question, what you chose to stay silent about even after it didn't feel right. That's different. That's not ignorance. That's awareness without action. And awareness without action doesn't change anything. It just sits there, uncomfortable, unresolved, waiting. And while it waits, things continue. Patterns repeat. Harm doesn't pause because you're still processing. It moves forward whether you're ready or not. So now the question isn't, did you know? You do. The question is, what are you doing with that knowing? Are you questioning it, or are you protecting your comfort again? Are you speaking on it, or are you waiting for someone else to carry that weight? Are you confronting it, or are you reshaping it into something easier to accept? Because people do that. They take truth and soften it, reword it, dilute it until it doesn't require anything from them, until it feels manageable, until it no longer disrupts their position. But truth was never meant to be comfortable. It was meant to be clear. And clarity demands something. It demands alignment. It demands that what you see matches what you allow. And if it doesn't, that tension you feel, that's not pressure. That's conflict, internal, quiet, but real. Because part of you knows, and the other part doesn't want to deal with what knowing requires. So you sit in between, not fully ignoring it, not fully addressing it, just holding it and hoping it fades. But it won't, because now you know, and knowing changes the standard. It changes what you can excuse. It changes what you can overlook. It changes what you can stay silent about without feeling it. And that feeling, that's accountability trying to surface. Not loud, not performative, just present. Waiting to see if you're going to respond to it or suppress it again. So I'll ask you plainly, now that you know, what are you going to do differently? Because doing nothing is still a decision. And silence after awareness sounds very different than it did before. This is witness state. Now you know.